This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com. What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet. And today we got a spicy brew for you. We are revisiting Fight Rigging. This is a card from Streets of New Capenna that I absolutely adore, and we got a couple of new toys for it in Wilds of Eldraine. And so naturally, I had to build it. Specifically, Devouring Sugarmaw. This one is frankly insane. It is a 6/6 for 4, but you need to effectively bargain on your upkeep in order for it to remain untapped. Otherwise, you just tap it down for the turn, which is a little unfortunate. But you can pay 2, and on the adventure side, cast Have for Dinner, create a 1/1 human and a food. So it gives you some of the material that it's going to eat later. So that's pretty handy. Honestly, it's just a good card in general, but the thing that really sets it over the top is that it's a 4-drop 6/6 that we can play right after we play the Fight Rigging, which gets Fight Rigging to trigger, which does silly things, as we know. We also have a couple of pieces, like we have Virtue of Persistence and Gruff Triplets as like payoffs for being able to fire like a big spell early. But additionally, Virtue of Persistence is just a decent 2-drop removal spell. I'm also running Virtue of Loyalty in this list because it combos really nicely with the Gruff Triplets, but also it encourages our opponent to focus on our Knight token. It encourages them to spend removal dealing with a token. It creates the threat early, and there's this promise of a nasty threat later, which can be very imposing in decks that are leveraging a lot of tokens or going wide. And so I want to kind of tease that to the opponent. I want to rip this out on 2 and have them kind of play the rest of the game, and I mean, hopefully sideboard in a way that is going to encourage them like to assume that we're going wide. Like I want them to sideboard in a lot of the big board wipes. I want them to sideboard in things like Temporary Lockdown. Like I want them to think that we're going wide, even though we really aren't. I mean, Gruff Triplets can, of course, but we're trying to go tall. So we have Devouring Sugarmaw for that. Yeah, that helps us up. We also have the end in here. I've got 3 of these because they're just insane. And I put those in the main deck because this deck kind of slow rolls. And so in a format where there's a lot of mid-range, I'm just going to assume that our opponent is going to let me kind of have time for that. Because this deck is designed for best of 3. And that's actually what we're going to be playing today. I normally play best of 1 in these videos, but today I'm going to do best of 3 to kind of mix it up a little bit. If you have an opinion either way, let me know in the comments below, and I'd appreciate it. So we're probably going to see more mid-range. And so as a result, I think we can kind of get away with it. And so we're going to do that. We have Shakedown Heavy, Fight Rigging and Shakedown Heavy. They just go together. Just how that works. We also have Woodland Acolyte. This is an uncommon from WoW that I think is highly underrated. It's a 2/2 for 3. When it ETBs, you draw a card. So it's basically just a slightly bigger Spirited Companion. It's basically Spirited Companion with a little more stats, which is exactly what we want. And then there's also Men to the Wilds, which is an instant for 1 green. Put target permanent card from your graveyard on top of your library. So obviously, you can wait until your opponent's end step, simply mend whatever you want. That's what you're going to draw. So if you've been milling or if you had something die early, you can just pull it back that way, which is nice. Additionally, we're trying to kind of mill a little bit. Like, well, we don't really have a lot of mill things particularly, except for the fetch quest from Bramble Familiar. But if we do end up getting milled, if things get discarded, those kinds of things, we have an opportunity to just buy it back effectively. And if we, mend the wilds and then play the Woodland Acolyte, we just draw whatever we put there. So if it's late in the game and we have a ton of mana, we can use this to just tee up our next draw, throw it out, and then who knows, maybe even play it. And when we have the opportunity to play things like Fight Rigging that only cost 3, having 7 mana available to use 4 to effectively buy it back, play it out, hide away, and who knows, maybe we have a big creature online at that point, fingers crossed, and we can just trip it immediately. Cool stuff. Like, there's an opportunity for some really great things here. As far as the sideboard goes, I'm rocking Dreams of Steel and Oil and Duress. Being able to target the hand is a big deal, so I got 2 of those, 2 of each of those. I also have Urborg Scavengers as a 2 of in the sideboard. If our opponent has large creatures, basically if our opponent is playing any kind of Atraxa deck, be it one of the domain decks or well, primarily the domain decks, but like those breach, things. Urborg Scavengers is fantastic to bring in because we can just steal it from our opponent. Also against like mono red, Urborg Scavengers is really good because we can almost always steal haste, and that's pretty great. We like that. We also have Talks with the Corrosive. If we're going up against somebody who's going wide, the big slug is just one of the best ways to do it, and we're cheating things out with Fight Rigging and whatnot. So being able to free cast it on turn 4 seems pretty darn good to me. And if we have 2 in the main, or if we sideboard into, there's a decent chance we're going to find it. We have Surge of Salvation. If we're going up against red or black, we want to make sure our stuff survives. This thing's great. We also have, and actually against Mire, this is pretty good as well. We also have 3 Werefox Bodyguards. This thing comes in against mid-range decks or against aggro decks. Being able to shut down, you know, attackers in the early game and put stats on the board that can block favorably for us is really important. And we can sacrifice it to gain life. I mean, Werefox Bodyguard is basically like a food late in the game. This thing's amazing. I'm a big fan. Honestly, to the point where I might put some in the main at some point. But yeah, for right now, we got 3 in the side. And then we also have a 1-of Breach to the Multiverse. If we're going up against a Breach deck that we know is running really good stuff, we might as well rock one in, because who knows, maybe we'll hit it first. And we all know whoever hits that Breach first tends to win the game. So yeah, honestly, we could put the 1 in the main just for kicks, but yeah, we don't for the moment. But then, of course, we also have Atraxa and the Eternal Wanderer. I feel like those are pretty self-explanatory. They are fantastic bombs that can end the game if left unchecked completely. And so obviously we want to be free casting into really powerful things. Well, those are some pretty powerful things. So that's the thought there. So this is the Fight Rigging deck. Thanks for checking it out. We're going to do some best of 3 games. Hopefully we can get some wins. So check out that. And if you enjoy this, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. It makes a huge difference. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Let's do it. All right, so we're doing some best of 3 action with the new Fight Rigging. Let's see if Devouring Sugarmaw can take it down for us. I'm hopeful. This deck is kind of silly. This is also the first time that I'm trying the sideboard. So as of this game, the sideboard is brand new. And we're doing some best of 3 for this one. A lot of the time for these videos, I do best of 1. I figured today, let's mix it up a little bit. All right. Waiting on the opponent, which is not uncommon. All right, we got 3. I mean, we got 3 cards. We got the Bramble Familiar. We got Virtue. All of our colors are represented. I mean, this looks fantastic to me. So yeah, we can lead off with the Restless Cottage into the Razorverge Thicket. We're tapped on 1, but we're open on 2. And our opponent's giving us the Wormlet. That has a Virtue written all over it, I think. It's kind of my initial feeling here. If we can take that thing out, I'm gonna be happy. Yeah, we're gonna be able to right on 2. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so yeah, no, this thing is gonna grow. I don't want that to happen. Get wrecked. And if you have the royal treatment, well, doggone it, that's actually a really good answer to what I was doing there. Fiddlesticks. All right, I'm going on the full-on food plan, and doggone it, it seems to be working. Yeah, I'm really not loving where we're at here. Yeah, because I mean, we can play out the Fight Rigging, but that's practically taking the turn off. But now, if we draw into a Sugarmaw or a Shakedown Heavy, we're going to be fine. And Eternal Wanderer is not a bad hit. So, we could do worse. We could do a lot worse. Alright, what do you got? I'm at 12. They have, what, 8 damage represented on the board right now? 9 damage represented? Yeah. Chilling at 3. We needed something that's other than that. Yeah. Yeah, they got it. Yeah, so we're gonna go on. Yeah, we needed. Had we found, like I said, the Sugarmaw or the Shakedown Heavy, something to trigger the Fight Rigging, we would have been fine. But as it stands, we just didn't. All right, let's bring Toxie in. James Steel and Oil is gonna find targets. Werefox also looks fantastic here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the Woodland Acolyte out, and I'm tempted to actually pull the Bramble Familiar. That's probably not correct though. The end. I don't know that we're gonna have enough good targets for that. So let's go down to 1. Let's go down to 3 Gruff Triplets. And possibly just rock a Power 61, call it good. We can try that. Alright, I'm really hopeful on the, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to bring these 2 dudes in. I don't know, go down to 2 Gruff Triplets. I like the idea of Toxtrol more than the reality of Toxtrol in this matchup, actually. So we're going to do 1. If we happen to hit him, great. If not, that's fine. All right, let's do that. Sideboarding is one of the trickiest parts of this game, and one that I definitely struggle with, if I'm completely honest. So feel free to leave a note in the comments below on how you would have sideboarded there, and feel free to laugh at me doing it wrong. All right. Or if you're just like, man, I wouldn't have built that sideboard at all. What were you thinking? That's also perfectly acceptable. Let me know. So we're going first. We got 2 lands in the Familiar. This is kind of tempting, but Atraxa here is dead in our hand. I think I'm going to mull there. All right, we got more lands. This is keepable. I'm going to let 1 of the towers go. We don't have any green sources, no, though. That's mildly problematic. But we're going to have Virtue on 2 and Werefox on 3. So that's good. And there's a green source. All right, cool, cool, cool. So there we go. All's well. Groovy cool. So let's see, what you got, opponent? Here's looking at you. So if they give us something to hit, I might throw the Werefox Bodyguard. Honestly, I might just rip that now. I know they're running protection spells. Ooh, and the Razorverge Thicket, right? On the last turn where it's valuable. I know they're running protection spells. So there's the opportunity to flash this in, but I think I'd rather just do it right now while their shields are down. Nom 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 nom. So yes, that is a fox eating a cookie. That's happening. This having flash is so good. Okay. Oh dang. Well, I'm gonna throw the Razorverge Thicket and just sit back, I guess. Because Glitz is here. We haven't had the Iganjo, though, and I just kept the mana open for that. So, presumably they're going to swing with Glitza. Maybe not, but I think in this position, that's the correct move. I know I would if I was in their position. So, okay. Mosswood Dread Knight. Drawing them cards. Sure. Swing on in. And before you connect, I'm going to go ahead and throw a Palace at you. If you have the protection spell, so be it. They do not. Let's go. And the Dread Knight's coming down. Okie dokley. Oakley dokley. That's how that goes, right? All right, cool. So we have another Werefox Bodyguard. Thank you from the sideboard. Coming on in. Go ahead and give it a little slap. And then go ahead and throw down the Bramble Familiar. All right, so now we have 6 lands. If we top deck an untapped land, we have the Virtual Persistence live, which is pretty decent because they have a Glissa in their graveyard. I said untapped land. Ugh. We'll get there. It's a little slow, but we'll get there. I want to attack in here, but they can do double block stuff. They can also... actually, Surge Ginger's just going to genuinely be a problem, if I'm completely honest. But fortunately for us, we're at 22 life this late in the game. They're clearly going for more of an aggro plan. And we haven't really given them much opportunity here, so that's good. All right, so they're going to swing in here. We also have the Restless Cottage live, which is great. All right, so yeah, the Ginger Brutes are just coming in. Nothing I can do about it. 2 damage, pop. All right. That's right. There you are. Man, why weren't those 2 mixed back? All right, whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to throw down the Virtual Persistence here. Cool. And I'm going to keep the Deathcap Glade in my hand. That way we can potentially use it to fuel the Bramble Familiar, if need be. I want to attack here, but I'm going to hold back, just because the trade would give them back one of their creatures. That's one of the problems with these, you know, Brutal Cathar style creatures that eat something and hang on to it, is that, well, when they die, the opponent gets the thing back. With the exception of the Skyclave Apparition, that was kind of nuts in that regard. All right. I'm actually halfway tempted to do a double block on Sir Ginger here, just to guarantee her off the board. And then we're definitely stealing Glissa. We don't know what they have in hand. I'm assuming it's a Royal Treatment or something like that, so that's why I'm going to do this. Royal Treatment gives Hexproof. It does not give Indestructible. That said, if they have, like, I don't know. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and block here. If they have a trick, they have a trick. But this is going to put potentially Sir Ginger in the graveyard. Yes, it does. And it puts the Werefox Bodyguard in the graveyard. Right now, with Virtue, I need those graveyards full. And so that's going to be Glissa. And I'm going to feel good. All right, cool. I feel real good. So we drop this. Then I'm going to go like this. Yeah, Virtual Presence on Sir Ginger. They got a scoop. We'll go to game 3. Booyah. All right, we didn't do any of the fight rigging shenanigans that we came here to do, but the Werefox Bodyguards coming in out of the sideboard did some massive work. So we take those. All right. We absolutely take those. All right, game 3 against the Artifact deck. The Artifact aggro. Honestly, I'm glad to see that people are doing stuff with Golgari. And, like, goofy Golgari aggro is totally fine by me. All right. Yeah, that was a pretty easy mull, and I'm pretty happy with this, honestly. I think we keep it, and I think a little too much. All right, I'm going to let the Deathcap Glade go. Yeah, because I'm going to be coming in untapped on 2 anyway. All right. It's a Brute. Yeah, they got a Ginger Brute. That Plains is actually delightful. All right, Restless Cottage comes down. And now the Plains is going to allow me... Oh, we have the Razorverge as well. Let's do that. I could play out the Bramble Familiar here, or I could freaking blast that Ginger Brute before there's any value. They also missed a land drop. That's clutch. So yeah, I'm just going to rip this. If they have something. Yeah, they're going to cut down their own Ginger Brute so that I don't get the life. Interesting. Hey, that was a clean 2-for-1. And it also denies me the Virtue later. So that was a pretty good play, honestly. All right, we're going to rip this. And you know what? We have a Dreams of Steel and Oil and a Bramble Familiar. Let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and exile so Ginger and the Ginger Brute out of the yard. Groovy. Next turn, we can establish the Raffine's Tower and have the Werefox Bodyguard up. That feels pretty good. Oh my goodness. More bodyguards. Cool. So our opponent was stumbled on lands a little bit, and we definitely did not. That is clutch. But yeah, the Dreams of Steel. We're also drawing all of our sideboard cards. And honestly, that's fantastic. I'll take that. All right. Oh, they're just going to draw the card here. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And so this is going to come in, not exile anything. Instead, just be power on the board. When in doubt, just be power. Well, speaking of power, I want to add a lot more of it here in just a second. We're going to go ahead and slippity slap here. Wha-pow. I'm then going to go ahead and have for dinner. Rock out a couple things. And then slap down with the Sugarmaw. And we can eat the food to keep it satisfied this next turn. They're going to drop out a 3-2 that I do not care about. They do have to go for the throw for the Sugarmaw. Good, good, good. That was correct, opponent. It is a good thing you had that. Cool. Well, let's see. Can I don't quite have enough to animate the land and throw out the bodyguard. So I think I'm just going to animate the land. Animate the land and smash. Now, I know the Bramble Familiar could get hit here. If that happens, so be it. I'm not... Okay, that is what they're going to do. That's the trade I'm willing to make. We're pushing a lot of damage here. And we have the bodyguard back up so that whatever the next blocker is they throw down, we can answer it. Alright, yeah, they got our Dread Knight. Sure. No worries, dog. Hey. We got, Shakedown Heavies. Seems good. Yeah. So I'm just going to throw the bodyguard, eat that Dread Knight. Nom, 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 nom. And they do have the royal treatment for it. Fair enough. Cool. So the bodyguard does nothing. But that was all before combat, so we're not getting blown out here. That's nice. And then we just established the Shakedown Heavy and chill. Alright. And they have another go for the throw. Well, doggone it, opponent. Look at you. You're over there with your kill spells. Alright. Well done. Well done. I don't know why I had to be so, like, so, I don't know, derisive when I said, oh, look at you, opponent. Aw. Alright. I need to knock that off. That's just rude. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and grab that Virtue back. Really cool. That brings the Virtue back to our hand. I have 2 mana. I can't kill the Dread Knight, but I can kill that Wormlet before it gets any bigger. And we're 1 mana shy of being able to jam out the Virtue. The moment that hits the field, we've got it. Pretty much. I feel very confident about that. Yeah, they're looking at graveyards. They're looking pretty good. Yeah, they got the Dread Knight. I got my Sugarmaw. Oh, here comes the Cottage. Good shout. All right, well done. Eat that Sugarmaw. Make sure I don't have access to that. That is smart. That is very smart. I am going to double block, though. I don't want you having that Cottage anymore. Yeah. I am okay with this. I said untapped land. Actually, I didn't, but I meant untapped land. You should have understood. Ah. All right, anyway. Yeah. And unfortunately, I think we just chill. So they have 2 foods. Their creatures can get a little bit bigger. I'm at 20, though. I'm honestly not too worried about that. And next turn, we got the Virtue. So we're playing the 7 drops that are trying to win us this game. Honestly, they can't even really afford to attack here. So yeah, I just tank this. No, don't care. Come on in. I'm assuming they have another blocker or something here. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it and just chill. Like I'm not in any particular hurry. I mean, yeah, that thing being big sucks. Like it does, but I think we'll be fine. All right. Glissa. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna tank this again. Alright. So I can eat their Moss with Dreadnought. We have their Wormlet. Actually, what's the ruling on the Wormlet? Death as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. I only have 2 at the moment, which is really unfortunate. So I think we bring out the Werefox Bodyguard. And I'm gonna go ahead and chow down on their biggin. Do they have another royal treatment? Well, damn, they do. Huh. That's problematic. Yeah. It's fortunate that they didn't make me pay the reward first. Pretty jazzed about that, honestly. Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and take out Glissa, gain a little bit of life. Play out the land because we can. And send in the damage that I can. So the Werefox Bodyguards, I can just sacrifice them to gain life, which loads them into my graveyard for Virtue. So that seems like a really good plan. Yeah. So let's do that. And then also this. Might as well just brace for impact, eat some of my food. That's what it's for. Alright. Come on in, welcome to my face. That said, they have Glissa over there, and Glissa just completely stops all of this. Oh, damn! Well, alright, opponent. Fair play, Boseiju, who endures. They don't know I have another one in hand. It's fine. Alright. So let's grab a tower, because, might as well. And we also just casually have Atraxa that we could just pull here, so... Or no, it's in... It wasn't in hand. My apologies. Yeah, they don't have anything in their hands, so this is kind of a waste, if I'm honest. Alright. Because I could exile something out of their graveyard, but honestly, I'm getting more benefit out of their graveyard than they are. You know what? I'm gonna block it. Let's... And it's trample, so I can't do the... I mean, I could have sacked for the life, I guess. It would have been the same result. But yeah, Glissa just chumps this for days. And there's Atraxa. Boom, baby. She's in the deck. Yep, and that's a scoop of seed potatoes. All right, there we go. That was a pretty good match. Our opponent did a really cool Golgari, you know, food artifact build with Teething Wormlet. I really enjoyed seeing that. At the end of the day, our sideboard cards ended up being clutch. We didn't do any of the fight rigging nonsense that we wanted, but we had some of the best 7-drops in the game, and we ultimately got to them, so... Okay, so hey, we get to go first. That's huge. We have all of the lands in the world. None of our early stuff, except for one piece of removal and Virtue of Persistence. We do have the Reckless Cottage and Iganjo in hand, so that's pretty cool. And Takenuma for that matter. So, you know what? If we draw a lot of lands, we can channel what we got, which is pretty great. And if we can survive up till 6, hopefully find some kind of, you know, cheaper stuff between now and then. We'll see. You know, keeping a hand like this that kind of relies on the top deck is a little risky. Virtue of Loyalty is great though, because that gives us something to do here. So we didn't have a target for Virtue. I guess there's that for the Virtue of Persistence. That is, of course. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna rock out a 2/2. Cool. Boseiju's not bad. Pretty happy to see that actually. I'm just gonna go ahead and swing. I don't want to spend a card. Even in Adventure, which is, you know, kind of half a card, dealing with a Spirited Companion. That seems like a colossal waste of a card. So I would rather save it if we could. And I imagine we're going to get better targets. They're going to hit a Virtue of Persistence on my dude. That's a better hit. Hitting the 2/2 Vigilance, yeah, that makes sense. I'm tempted to actually Boseiju blast their headquarters. We could also Iganjo the Companion, but again, I don't think that's worth it. But yeah, blowing up the Spar's headquarters and knocking the... Well, but no, never mind. They can just replace it with another Spar's headquarters because the way Boseiju's worded. Don't mind me, everybody. I'm learning magical cards. All right. Learning this game that I've been playing for perhaps a bit too long. Depending on whose definition you go by. Honestly, I'm just going to keep stuff up. Again, blowing the Virtue on a 1/1 feels terrible. I just think we can do better. They're going to rock out Sheoldred after combat is my guess. Just assuming, because we're playing Standard, so that's just usually a good guess. Possibly Wedding Announcement, though, which is a great Boseiju target. No, they're going to do nothing. Just keep mana open. That's not alarming at all. It's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. I'm going to establish the virtual loyalty here, because next turn we got the triplets. Assuming no interaction. Now they're going to Leyline Binding. Alright. Cool. That's fine. This card. Who thought an instant speed Banishing Light for 1 was going to be a good idea? I don't get it, honestly. Doesn't make sense. Fight Rigging is pretty solid. Pretty darn solid. Alright. So we're going to go Iganjomon. And then play out the triplets. Oh yeah, that. I really don't like Elish Norn. Have I made that abundantly clear? Because, yeah, that card is kind of dumb. Actually, and by kind of dumb, I mean you should probably run it in all your sideboards, and the fact that I don't have it in the sideboard of this deck is probably a massive problem. Because honestly, she completely kills my deck. Like, 100%. I don't have anything when she's here. And I'm kind of just realizing that now, and that hurts. Yeah, so everything's toughness reduction. Sure. Yeah, and yeah, we're gonna have to pull in the end and all kinds of other goodies for that. I'm gonna play a Takenuma. I'm gonna hit the fetch quest, but yeah, I'm gonna grab Atraxa. I don't draw the cards. I still have the biggest body on the board, and Fight Rigging's not gonna be able to hide anything away here, which is terrible. So she's the biggest body on the board. Given how much removal our opponent's running, there's a good chance. Yeah, they're gonna these enchantment enter exile things with ETB doublers. It's really hard to just own anything on the board when that's out there. So, you know, our opponent built this variant of the domain deck, and it looks fantastic. Elish Norn in the main is probably correct, honestly, and more people should be doing that. That has Ward 3. Here we go. I need it. I'm gonna pay all the wards. Not be happy about it. And Fight Rigging can come down and buff Atraxa, but we're not gonna get the hideaway as long as Elish Norn's alive. So it's not really gonna be worth much, honestly. So now they get to go get a land. I am going to Virtue Blast the Inspiring Overseer just to get a flying blocker off the board and gain us 2 life. But they have 3 cards in hand, and probably more removal, honestly. So I'm not liking our chances. Yeah, of course they have it. Yeah, they have. Yeah, it is permanent opponent control, so I do gain the life here. So that's something. But so we need. Well, yeah, but no, without the hideaway. I was about to say, as long as we top deck, you know, one of our big creatures, we'll be fine. I was like, no, we're not. Yeah, they got it. Breach, of course, is the top end. Oh my goodness, I hate getting shut off. That sucks. I hate being turned off. It's no fun. Meanwhile, our Breach has an opportunity to be pretty darn good. Dreams of Steel and Oil, we're going to have targets for that. Werefox is certainly not going to do squat diggity for us. I didn't really realize and didn't appreciate how dependent on ETBs this deck is, but it absolutely is. So that's a thing. But here we are. Yeah, we ultimately need ways to deal with Norn. And so the ends aren't going anywhere. If anything, I kind of wish I had a 4th one to bring in. And then... do we rock the Breach? Yeah, if we don't rock the Breach here, where do we rock the Breach? Let's get the Virtual Loyalty out of there. It didn't really do much for us. And we can go down to... 2 Woodland Acolytes, 3 Familiars, Power 61. Let's run it out. So we're bringing in Dreams of Steel and Oil as well as Duress because... they have all those enchantments. I need Duress can hit all those. Dreams of Steel and Oil could potentially get Elish Norn out of their hand, or the Atraxa that they're no doubt trying to spin into. Man, deck, you're taunting me here. We didn't have enough early plays, so that was a pass. This one I'm gonna keep. We're gonna dump Atraxa. I'm honestly not super jazzed about it, but it kind of is what it is. You know, we do have the end in hand, which is going to be good. Bramble Familiar, we're going to be able to rock out on 2. Hopefully, to some effect. Just all of our Razorverge Thickets. Those are the only lands we can draw? Okay, cool. Love it. All right. What do we got? We need a black source. If we can get another black source, we'll have the land open. We're going to feel pretty good. This does not produce white, therefore they can't leyline binding off it, which is good. But I don't have a second black source, so the end's not up. I might as well just get in my 2 damage while I can. It's not great. Little grizzly bears getting their work done. Something, I guess. There's the leyline binding. I knew it was coming. It's always just coming. It's just around the corner. Those decks always have them. Yep. And we don't draw any black sources. Oy, this is rough. This is rough. Companion, sure. Hey, tower, I'll take it. I didn't need it this turn anyway. Because now, honestly, if they play out an untapped land and then rip Elvish Norn, if they tap out for Norn here, we have the end with her name all over it, and that's going to clear the way for our triplets pretty nicely, assuming we can find the land for them. There's the headquarters, okay. Which means maybe they tap out next turn for her. They're eyeing their bivouac. All right, so they're whacking the bivs. That's not how that works. All right, gonna put the counter on the companion. Okay, interesting. Yeah, putting the counter on the creature that can get like caught up in a board wipe is an interesting choice. You know what? We have the ability to play out the Gruff Triplets now without any kind of hindrance. So here we go. If they have Norn, we have the end. If they don't, we've got our triplets. So all right, cool. Instant board. Just add water. I'm a fan of the triplets. There she is. Isn't she lovely, folks? And then they probably... Oh, no leyline binding. I'm intrigued, delighted, and surprised. This is the end. Don't have one in hand, but they are rocking Gruff Triplets and Atraxa, of course. They only have one other one in the deck? Really? Yeah, so this is just Breach, Invasion of Telvada. Yeah, with Atali. 4 Virtual Persistence. Yeah, multiple breaches. Okay, I'm surprised there weren't more, but I'm glad we got rid of it. All right, cool. We take those. Time to punch. So they have the Gruff Triplets in hand that are no doubt going to hit the board here shortly. And going to be able to get some blocking in. Fortunately for us, we're actually able to play out our other Gruff Triplets first. And so if they block them in combat... Or no, they have Atraxa up now. No, just kidding. That's a much... Oh, no, they are going for the triplets. Excellent. All right, untapped land here would be nice. Because then we'd be able to Dreams away the Atraxa. Never didn't have it. I'm going to hit their Atraxa here. And then play out our other Gruff Triplets. Boom. And attack for lethal. So they have to block here. And as they block, their Gruff Triplets are going to grow, but so are mine. And I have more of them. So here we go. Yep, and they're going to put card against card to put them both into the graveyard. So that's fair. Not a bad idea, honestly. Yeah, I think they see the math. So you can live here, but like my dudes are going to be equally as big as your dudes. And I'm going to have an opportunity to snowball here. So yeah, you have 2 6/6s, but I have 3 untapped 6/6s and 2 more that can swing at you next turn. So do you have any of those one-of Sunfalls? Because that's what it's going to take here. I'm assuming they have a one-of Sunfall in there. I didn't even check. Inspiring Overseer. Yep, that ain't going to do it. Because, yeah, this is, what, 30 damage that we have represented on board here? Yeah, sweet. Got him. All right. That lined up nicely. We made it happen. So we're trying to do the big dumb stuff. Again, we have 4 fight riggings in here. This is now... How many games with this have we played? We haven't found any of them. Kind of disheartening, if I'm honest. Kind of not super jazzed about that. You know what? I'm going to take the Woodland Acolytes out, though, and I'm going to put the Urborg Scavengers in. They are putting powerful creatures into their own graveyard. And so, like, if they somehow, like, discard or mill an Atraxa and we can hit it with our Urborg Scavengers, I'm going to feel real good about that. So I think that's probably worth at least having the option, having the ability to hit it. Let's do it. All right. Let's run it back. Game 3. Here we are. This is the new fight rigging. This ain't your daddy's fight rigging. This one has a bunt cake that's going to eat you. Which you gotta respect the bunt cake, baby. Gotta respect the bunt cake. This hand is so almost good. I know if I keep this, we're not gonna see another land for the rest of the game, though, so we need to pass on it. This looks significantly better. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Eternal Wanderer away. And we're gonna have the turn 1 Duress, because turn 2 we don't have a play anyway. So, no, just kidding, actually. That Herborg Scavenger changes things. So now we're gonna throw the tower on 1. We can throw the tower again on 2, duress, and oh, now we're actually, no matter what we do, we're gonna have it, so sick. Well, yeah, so here's the duress. Show me what you got. Show me your secrets, what you're working with. Nahiri's Resolve, temporary lockdown, leyline, binding, and then breach, and then they also have the Inspiring Overseer. Yeah, no, get that binding out of here, man. Those things have been the bane of my existence for a hot minute. I just don't want to see them. Just don't want to see them. Yeah, temporary lockdown does squat diggity for us. Like, that's just... Yeah, that's nothing. Here we go. We also have green now represented, which is fun. Alright, Herborg Scavengers. Nom nom. Here we go. So the Scavengers have been set. They are going to grow as we go. So I'm assuming they have more removal. I'm just assuming they found it. Or I'm hopeful that they didn't read the text on temporary lockdown very carefully and they bring it in. I'm not 100% sure why you'd bring temporary lockdown in against this deck. That seems a little silly. I mean, I have some... Oh, there we go. The last opportunity for the Virtual Persistence to kill that thing. So, fair enough. All right. Fair enough. So yeah, we're just going to keep the end up. I could kill the Overseer with it. I mean, if they rip like an Nahiri's Resolve here, that would be worth it. But, I don't know. It's kind of lame. Honestly, that would actually be thinning their deck out a bit. So, come on in. Welcome to my face. Yeah, we can just take 2 damage for now. We gotta be patient. No, I'm gonna put down the heavy, because in all likelihood, it's just gonna be drawing his cards. But hey, man, if this thing can draw his cards, let's go. They have the ability to rock out the Nahiri's, Nahiri's Resolve, which is gonna be able to loop the Overseer, which would kind of suck, because that gives them a lot of card draw. But they would tap out to do it, and we'd become an Atom with the Shakedown Heavy. And we also have a Breach of our own in hand. They don't know we have that, but we know we have that. So yeah, this lines up nicely for them. They get the 3 damage here. Honestly, knowing they had that, maybe I should have prioritized the end a little higher. Right, Eru. Let's go ahead and swing on in. Would you like me to draw the card, or would you like to just tank 6 damage to your face? You're gonna give me the card. That is actually not necessarily a good idea. But, hey, rock on, dog. Let's go. Alright, Overseer's coming back again. Tell a friend. Alright. And let's see. Do you want to play anything out pre-combat? You sure do. Seems great. Boom, baby. Because she did have haste. And now she does have an opportunity to get gone. They got a Sunfall in hand. That is definitely something I got to be aware of. Alright. Definitely something I got to be aware of. And the Tolvada and their Breach. So, okay. They're drawing cards. I'm drawing cards. I'm punching face. You're punching face. They're going to take it this time. That's, yep. That makes sense. You should do that. That is correct. Alright. So this comes on back. Gaining life, drawing cards, doing things. Does anything else come down or not? I'm assuming they're going to hit their land drops. They just drew 2 cards, for goodness sake. Yep, there we go. They got 6 land now. They have access to a lot of stuff. Not quite their bombs that they want to hit just yet, though. Oh. That makes me really sad. Like, big sad. Ugh. Had I hit the Inspiring Overseer at the end. Yep. Prior to that. I'm going to do it now. It's better than nothing. Actually, I probably should have waited until the Spirited Companion hit so I could see what the card they drew, but this will be fine. Alright. Doggone it, yo. Doggone it. So they're gonna they're gonna full send. I am going to have that puppers for dinner. That Nahiri's Resolve is just running a rough shot on me right now, and I really don't appreciate it. That said, we're 1 land away from just playing out Atraxa. Well. Or we can just spin the wheel and hopefully find something. Triplets are fine, but honestly, they're not that great here because our opponent is attacking us through the air. They also have a Sunfall in hand. That's it. If they hit the Sunfall because of timing, their Inspiring Overseer will also get exiled. So, can't imagine they're going to want to do that. Oh yeah, this thing's annoying. Oh my goodness, this thing's annoying. And also, if they rip the breach, we're probably just wrecked. Let's see, do they find the untapped land? That's what I'm afraid of. One of the nice things, though, about Nahir's Resolve is that if they're taking advantage of it, they don't have any blockers back. So that's pretty handy. Okay, taking that to the face. Right to the face. Alright, they are going to go ahead and Sunfall. In response, I'm just going to have a little snack. Alright. That happened. Okay. We got a tower. We got a Sugary Maw. Raw. Alright. Nothing coming back on that. And they're at 14. Now they need that. They need 7 lands big time. The moment they hit 7 lands, I'm boned. Like completely well and truly boned. But they still haven't found them, so. Excuse me. So that's convenient. Alright. Now, that's it. Yeah, they got 5 Demuge. 6 Demuge. Hopefully they don't understand how that works. No, they do. Alright, cool. Well, we can drop Atraxa. Or we can spin the wheel. I want to spin the wheel of Breach. Because they have a Tali in their deck. Alright, so for me... Actually, what does the opponent have? Hey, they have an Tali and an Atraxa. I'm going to take your Tali. And I'm going to take my Urborg Scavengers. Which will proceed. Well, I'm going to have the Atali resolve first. Let's see what we find. But this is going to target your Atraxa. Alright. And we just drew into an Atraxa and an invasion of Talvada. Fantastic. This is truly fantastic. And this brings up a Fight Rigging. Fight Rigging gets us... Do you want to go Virtue or do you want to go to the end? I think I want to go to the end. Get that old guy out of here. Just in case they have another board wipe. I just don't want to deal with it. Alright. Bramble Familiar is spinning the wheel once more, as is that. Hey, we got Planeswalkers. We got things. That Boseiju Who Endures looks fantastic as the land. Sick. Alright. Hand is fully reloaded, restocked, ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to just buff the Scavengers. Get them outside of the persistence range. And yeah, we're just going to exile that little duder real quick. Get him gone. Yeah, of course they don't have any cards with that name because there are no cards with that name. Gonna breathe a little sigh of relief here. We're just gonna hang out for a minute. So they have 6 lands. They did not find their 7th for their breach yet. If they find it, so be it. And then there's a decent chance that they're going to hit parity with what we have going on. Even then, the chance of them actually surpassing what we have going on is pretty low. So, that's rad. We like that. Honestly, the Scavenger Atraxa and the Atraxa, that was incredibly lucky. Yeah, we happened to hit it. So they're going to go ahead and invade Talvada. Yeah, they can go from their graveyard to the battlefield. They're grabbing a Leyline Binding, sure, but what are you going to hit my Atraxa? I have a Boseiju in hand. You're welcome to do that. Yeah, okay. I also have 2 Fight Rings down. So, we still have it. We absolutely have it. This honestly is kind of icing on the cake here. Yeah. Yeah, so we have Virtual Persistence. I'm going to go ahead and put all these counters on this dude. Yeah. So, booyah, baby. Fight Rigging. There we go. That time, we did the thing. Our opponent outdrew us by a mile. But in that last game, they outdrew us like crazy, but for some reason, they just didn't find that 7th land. And as a result, they were stuck with breaches in hand. They had an Atraxa in hand at one point. They were fully loaded, ready to go. They just didn't find the land. It's really unfortunate. And at the end of the day, we top-decked into the ability to hit the spin, and we got it. So, very cool. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. And before we go, I want to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon, especially the mythic patrons at the $10 level. And those are Angry Jellyfish, Bunyip, Hal, Else89,
Eric Sidrera, thank you for joining, and I hope I got that right. We also have Carl Ligon, Ryan, Sir Mowgli, Vailreth, and Yuckfuzi. Thank you so much for all the support. And even those at the $1 level, thank you so much. It makes a huge difference, and it definitely adds up. So if you, dear viewer, would like to help as well, you can do so over on Patreon. I'd really appreciate it. For as little as $1 a month, you can help these and our live streams keep going strong the way that they do. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.